Alright, everybody, so I just want to double check I'm live. Double check I'm live. Double check I'm live. There's an echo, but hopefully that echo doesn't stay. I guess I'll have to handle it later and see how good this goes. This is my first live stream on Facebook with my new updated PC. We are going to watch Andrew Wilson destroy this left-wing feminazi who believes that not all lives matter. She doesn't understand the concept that all lives and everyone are one and the same. They're the exact same. When you say all lives matter and everybody matters, they're one and the same. Her only grievance with using the words all lives matter, she believes that all lives matter was somehow abused in the past. Well, no. All lives matter was used because I, as well as many other Americans, do not follow the narrative that only black lives matter. I believe all lives matter. I don't care if you're black, white, Puerto Rican, Asian, Mexican, I don't care. All lives matter. Period. Her contention is that simply because in the past the words all lives matter was overused, she has a contention with this. Now, I want to go into my intro here and simply say, my name is Joshua. My channel is Dearden2007 on YouTube. And I am trying to grow my channel, my YouTube channel. So please help me reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Right now I'm sitting at about 800, almost 900 subscribers. So if you can help me reach that goal, I'd greatly appreciate it. For the since if I see a peace sign up here, it's like, yeah, we're good. We're still live. All right, so later on, if you go on YouTube and subscribe to my channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. I'm figuring out the quirks of getting my streaming software to work out just right, so bear with me. But yeah, let's get going. Is the deal. Alright, we're going to go ahead and let this roll. But again, if you could like the video, share it on Facebook. Also, I'm going to upload it onto YouTube here later, which is the point. But my computer's a little out of date, so I have to stream it onto Facebook at this moment and upload it to YouTube later. Now, please help me grow my channel to 1,000 subscribers. And once it's uploaded onto YouTube, please click like, subscribe, and comment below. This will help the YouTube algorithm, help me get it out to more people out there in the YouTube platform and Facebook also. So like the video, share it, and let's analyze this one piece at a time.
But they do, because you think everybody matters. What, all and everybody, what's the distinction between those two words? All people versus every person.
The abuse of that term in recent years. And
so you're giving it a political connotation.
The negative I don't care to even remotely affiliate with the negative connotation surrounding the term that has been
Okay,
established.
let's forget the political connotation for a
Well,
second.
I'm keeping
When you
those in
say
mind.
when you say all, meaning everyone, everybody matters.
Everybody
that would
matters.
necessarily be inclusive of trans people and everybody else, right?
Everybody matters.
Right. So then the only reason that you're making these special distinctions and categories is it's a
Because
virtue
society
signal,
does.
correct?
It's because what? I'm sorry?
It's a virtue signal.
Virtues? I don't understand what you mean by that.
It's you saying that I hold this category in this regard as being special in some way, which is
I
why I'm
think-
singling it out.
I think newer like categories, like trans was kept in the dark for longer, so it does need to be mentioned. It's more modern. Certain categories need to be mentioned more because they're more modern. Women's rights as well, because women didn't have the same rights just within like the past
So
century.
you're virtue signaling. You think it's maximum virtue in order to identify these groups which you consider to be oppressed and then give them some
Okay.
type of special shout out. That is literally the definition of virtue signaling.
Fair enough. Then I do
Yeah,
that.
so-
If that's
So,
what that
you're
is.
virtue signaling. So that's meaningless to me. Virtue signaling is meaningless.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there. Let me start by saying this. Once again, Andrew is destroying the lack thereof of logic on this feminazi. But let's move forward. Virtue signaling. Let's I want to make sure our definitions are clear. So let's dive into it. I don't know if I spelled it. It was one L. Okay. Virtue signaling, and Andrew he defines it, but I want to analyze this. Virtue signaling is the public expression of opinions or sentiments intended to demonstrate one's good character or social conscience of the moral correctness of one's position on a particular issue. Now, let's let Andrew define it the way he does. But before I do that, before I let Andrew define it, I want to say this. One thing you're going to notice throughout any debate I've seen on these feminists or women in general, and this is not me being negative or disrespectful, or not trying to anyways. One thing I've learned is Andrew, Brian, Fresh and Fit, the logic that, it's like they hear you, but they don't understand the question. Now, I've been guilty of this in the past. I've been guilty of hearing a question and not understanding it. But I've also known that if I don't understand the question, I will ask, can you dumb that down for me? I don't sit there and answer a question, and if I do, call a spade a spade. But if I do, I understand in the end, I will punish myself for it later, or others will punish me for it. With that being said, try and make sure, ladies, you understand the question that you're being asked. Understand that the question you're being asked deserves an answer that matches what you're being asked. The answer should be an equative response to what the question being asked is. Now, Andrew says multiple times, you're virtue signaling. She now agreed. You just saw her. She agreed to virtue signaling. Okay? Let's move on.
To me, I'm just
That's all
hitting
I'm
what
doing
the
then, though.
facts of the matter are.
Okay, but the facts of the matter, that's what I'm doing, that's how I feel, and I
Yeah, that's
feel that
your
those
virtue signal.
virtues matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's a huge virtue signal. So back to the question at hand as to whether or not trans individuals, if you engage a M2F transitioner to them having sex with a fellow male, can you explain how that's not homosexual sex?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna need you to repeat that because something like semi-interesting.
If two men have sex, how are they not homosexuals?
By their own boundaries and definition. I'm guessing in
I see. So let's assume for a second.
So I can't put myself.
Got it. So let's assume for a second then that if it's based on self-ID, if two men are engaged in a sex act and one of them decides to change their gender in the middle of having sex, is it now a heterosexual sex act?
That's so
Meaning, let's
unrealistic.
assume one of them says,
Hold on. Okay. He just asked a very clear, logical question, and she completely didn't answer the question, and she completely refused to answer the question, and she has the nerve to call his question stupid. No, his question is pertaining to the fact that trans women like to say that they're women. Now, I'm sorry to say that, I'm sorry if this offends anybody, I don't agree. Trans women are biological men. Trans men are biological men. Biological females. So, his question, to spell this out, his question is very clear. Sorry, I'm new to, I got a microphone, headphone, and my audio, so bear with me. So, his question is very clear, okay? If a biological male has sex with a trans woman, he asked her, let me dive that back. I want to make sure I'm responding, or I'm repeating. Let me make sure. Okay. Let me make sure. Okay, that's all. I just want to make sure my audio was good. Make sure it was coming out. Hey, James. Thanks for becoming a YouTube. Oh, wait. God dang it. I thought that was on the podcast. My bad. I'm so stupid. Anyways. So, let me be clear. Let me be 100% clear. This female is completely dodging the question, and all she keeps saying is boundaries. He didn't ask her what these two men's boundaries are. He asked a very simple question. If a biological man had sex with a biological man who says he's a female, would that be heterosexual? And instead of her simply saying, no, that's homosexual, that's same sex, she just keeps dodging the question, as you're about to see.
Like, how they identify like their cards should be laid on the table beforehand. They should be transparency and boundaries matter. That's where I'm getting at. It's all about transparency and boundaries. Yeah, but this doesn't answer the question. I think if someone was to say something mid-sex of that regard, it would matter what their intention is and what their relationship is. I think, like, the way you're describing it sounds like it's of malicious intent, in which case I would think that that's like malicious.
No, there's no malicious intent.
Then I mean, as long as they're aware, like maybe like they switch gender. Like I hear like BDSM people switch. Maybe like they're aware in advance that their partner switches gender. I'm not like familiar with that. I haven't met anyone that like identifies as that or does that. But like, if they're aware of that with each other and two consenting adults, then I don't think it matters.
Big Sass Energy donated 100 coins. It's only gay if you continue pumping.
Oh my god. I do not see how there's no light bulb kicking off in her head. It's obvious that most of these females who answer the way that they are doing so not out of analyzing the question or not out of looking at pure logic. All they're doing is answering in a way so, and you can't choose to change your gender. If you can't choose to change a race, you can't choose to change your gender. Sorry.
Oh, wait. Now it's gender identity, not a biological reality. So if it's just a gender identity, then
I never said it was
why
a biological reality.
Yes, you
We've
did.
like already established. It's
Let's
like
play that
if
back.
it's a biological
Hold on, let's play that back.
wait. Now it's gender identity, not a biological. Why not?
Race
Why
and-
can't they? All
race
they have to
and
do is
gender
decide they're a
identity are
different
not the
race,
same.
right?
Race and gender identity are not the same.
Oh, wait. Now it's gender identity, not a biological reality. So
Then I don't think it matters.
Big Sass Energy donated 100
I
coins.
could have sworn
It's
she
only
said
gay if you continue
biological.
pumping.
I'll quit playing
and
it
in the
back,
middle of
but I'm
them
pretty
having
sure
sex, can one of them change
She
their
said
race?
something about biological.
No, but that's definitely not the same.
Why not?
Race
Why
and-
can't they? All
race
they
and
have to do is
gender
decide they're a
identity are
different
not the
race,
same.
right?
I don't even think I
Race and gender identity are not the same.
Oh, wait. Now it's gender identity, not a biological reality. So if it's
I
just
never
a
said it was
gender
a bio-
identity, then
I
can you
never said
explain
it was
why?
a biological reality. We've like already established. It's like
If
you
it's a biological reality and it's two people of the same sex having sex, how is it not homosexual sex then? Homo
Exactly.
meaning same, sex meaning, sex.
Exactly.
I think there's
Lawyered.
a lot of
Lawyer.
identities. And
Checkmate.
Checkmate.
I don't agree, but I just think there's a lot of different ways people nowadays identify and have their own sexuality
cares
and
how
are
Okay,
not in
they identify as being
conformity.
black and then they identify as being
That's
white.
not
Why
the
are they wrong?
discussion we're having.
Going from gender to race, it's not the same.
They're both
You're not
social
making-
constructions, correct? Or is race
Sexual
also a biological reality?
constructions? Social. Okay. All right.
Oh, it is a social construction, so they can change their race in the middle of having sex then, right?
No, but is it a social construction? Isn't it
I'm
some?
asking you, is it a
I
social
don't-
construction or a
I
biological
don't.
reality?
I don't.
That face.
No. But I know they're not the same.
Right, okay.
I know that
so-
you can do a 23andMe and see like your race and background that's in your blood.
So
and
then,
it's-
if it's a biological reality, race. If race is a biological
Okay. Andrew is about to cook.
reality, you can't change that in the middle of sex. And your sex is a biological reality, which you can't change in the middle of sex. Then it would have to be homosexual sex. There couldn't be any other. There couldn't be anything else it could be.
I feel like people can identify as whatever they'd like, and people move.
Except black or white?
People move. No, because those are
Those are biological realities. Can't change those, right?
they're not just biological realities. They're like.
Light that ciggy up, Andrew.
Oh my god.
But like, so for example, right? I'm straight.
To those who may not know, and I've been meaning to stream as recently as possible to report this, but Brian is. You may not be able to see it because Andrew's video is in the middle of the screen. Andrew's video is in the middle of the screen, but Brian has some Dragon Ball Z tapes, cassette tapes, on the podcast table, and he's wearing Goku's Super Saiyan hair. And this is what Brian is doing. Brian is doing a can't think think of the word, a commemoration or a farewell, I guess you could say, to Akira. God, I feel stupid. Akira Term, the creator of Dragon Ball Z, which I'm a big fan of, and I feel really bad for not. I'm gonna protect my honor of knowing how to say his name. Akira Toriyama, who is the creator of Dragon Ball Z, and what Brian was doing is basically commemorating the memory of the amazing creator of a lot of our childhoods, a lot of men's childhood show that we enjoyed. Dragon Ball Z and all the creations since Dragon Ball was given life thanks to this creator. So we will all miss you, Akira. We appreciate all the art that you have created, the shows, the movies, the... Dang it. This thing is being cut up by... There. Move that aside. Okay, sorry. A big shout out to Akira Toriyama. I know me personally, Dragon Ball has and always will be, and Goku is, I'm a big fan of Goku and Vegeta and the whole series, so I want to give a shout out to Akira Toriyama's family and the entire team who created Dragon Ball Z. We all thank you, and want to say my apology, or my concern, or I want to give my condolences to the family of Akira Toriyama. Sorry, I'm blabbering on. But that's the purpose of Brian wearing the hat that he is, and that's the answer. Sorry.
Oh, we're still on this? Let's go.
If I didn't want to date a trans woman, do you...
We just established
Oh, wait,
this.
wait.
I think that's your
No,
preference
but
you're entitled to.
Okay, but I would think it might be not
Brian's about to cook, too.
straight to suck a woman's dick.
What?
Just saying. You know what I mean? Would that be... Because you said, right, because a woman could have a penis, right?
No.
Right? A woman could have a penis.
Hermaphrodites.
No.
Oh, that's a good point.
But are you saying trans women aren't women?
Exactly, they're not.
Because you could be a trans woman but not have...
He's cooking,
Well,
right?
talking to the mic, but you could be a trans
Brian is cooking.
woman but not have had bottom surgery and still have your peen, right?
Yeah.
Do you plan to keep it? Like,
What?
are you keeping the peen? Like,
I
Do you
think
wanna
that
live
argument though is a
yeah?
It doesn't. The thing is, most people right now
But
would say that
there's
it
still a
doesn't
woman.
matter
There's still a woman, right?
if they're identifying it.
Look, the point of contention, or the problem I have with the answers that these feminists are giving, is they know what's real. They know the reality, and they know what's right and what's wrong and what's real and what's not. But all they're doing is answering in concern of how they might look to all these communities, LGBTQ. And it's to make themselves look good But in reality, all they're doing is they're just pure stupidity. The answers, they're illogical. They have no logic to it. They have no truth. They have no reality. They know what they're saying is stupid, but they say it anyways. And I don't
As
I don't
women,
know.
then
I don't
technically,
They-
yes, they're going to be a woman.
Makes no sense.
Like, for their legal sex,
Right.
I don't think that they would.
You could put them
Oh, so wait a second. So if you gave one of these women in a dress a blowjob, you would be a lesbian.
No.
Sure.
No.
That doesn't sound insane.
Using their logic, they would say yes, but logically, no. It would not be a lesbian. A woman giving a BJ to a man dressed as a woman would be heterosexual sex in a freaky, weird way.
Ridiculous to you at all. Like the second you actually said the word sure, did you think to yourself, that's the dumbest thing I've ever said? I mean, honestly.
Well, for me personally, I just really don't care. Because me personally...
Well, I get that you don't care, but, you know, if we're talking about it, if you just basically sucked off a dude in a dress, you would actually say that that's lesbian sex?
Did you see her face? Let's go back. Look at her freezing. Look at her face. Look at her face. She's really thinking about it right now. She's really thinking about it.
I'm confused now.
I don't.
Oh, okay. So he laid it out in big crayon letters what the question was. And she didn't get it.
Going
Back to the original, why he even brought that up is because he's saying people say that it's transphobic.
I think
And that's going back-
I get.
Oh, now she gets it.
I get whole. I get where. I
So
don't think.
so if a man
I think
is
people
with
are entitled to their
someone who
preferences,
is
But we're not. Oh my god. Oh my god. This chick, all she ever says is preferences. We're not talking about people's preferences. The question was very clear. If a woman gives a man dressed as a woman a BJ, would that be heterosexual sex? Or, sorry, would that be lesbian sex? And the answer is clearly no. It's not lesbian sex. But they want to argue and sound politically correct and say something to the effect of somehow trying to sound good and not look bad to this community who's demanding of everybody follow their rules. It's very clear. If a woman has any sexual contact with a man, whether he's dressed as a female or not, that's heterosexual sex. If a woman has any sexual contact with a female, that would be lesbian sex. If a man and a man have sex, whether one of them is dressed as a woman or not, it's still homosexual in nature. That's the logic. Because there's no biologist in the world that is using real logic and not trying to sound politically correct. There's no logical truth to there being any more than two genders and two sexes. There is a man and a woman. There is female gametes and sperm. Or sorry, female ovi. I can't remember the words. There's two, female and male, sperm and ov. You know what I'm saying.
a trans woman is a man.
I
So
need
therefore, that's like the long way around of going being homosexual, is what it is. So
I think people are entitled to their preferences.
Oh my God. I need to create a count. I'm going to go back through this. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to pause this and go back later, and I'll put it in the comments of this video. Someone also go back and watch this and look how many times instead of answering the question, she says the words, someone has their preferences. We don't care what the preferences are. We don't care what their preferences are. We simply want you to answer the question. It's that simple. Just answer the question. Stick to question answer. If a question is asked of you, answer it. Think truth, logic. But they can't do it. They just can't do it.
Honestly, everybody, like in my opinion, anybody can decide how they feel, like if that is for them queer or not.
But we're not saying preference in the sense because he's saying specifically people are being called transphobic for something.
Oh, I don't think
that
that's
they.
transphobic.
It's okay. That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the original argument.
She still don't.
I think that it's such a progressive concept that, to be quite honest, most people don't really have a solid, firm identity of how they would deal with that or what they would.
I think we don't
that
have.
as because
Well,
it's
no,
just
let me
so
give a little
complicated.
pushback there because I do. See, I think that they would say, well, no, you're gay. That's what I think that they would say.
I think-
they would say,
I think
if a dude was blowing another guy, I think they would say, you're
Homosexual.
gay. That's what I think would happen. I don't think there's any confusion at all, in fact. I don't think anybody's confused about it.
Checkmate. Brian's. I'm sorry. Andrew is cooking. Sorry.
I think.
Sorry. My apologies, Andrew, for calling you Brian. Brian and Andrew are cooking in this show.
I would be interested in the take of a trans person and how they perceive that, and I can't put myself in their shoes. I can only empathize with their plights and the way.
Okay. Look, we know that you're not them. We know that you're not in their situation. We know you care about their feelings and care about the feelings of this community. Just answer the question. We don't care about how you feel about what is being asked about you or what you think it looks like. Just answer the question. It's simple. If a dude, I already went, I'm not going to bore you. Same sex contact of any sexual nature is gay or bi. It's same sex is homosexual in nature. It is not any different. Just that's what bothered me the entire time I watched this earlier today. I just had to respond to it. Andrew and Brian were cooking in this episode, but I had to come on and respond to it and just listen to how many times Brian's cooking in this and how many times Andrew is destroying this woman's logic and she still doesn't get it. Or sorry, this woman's lack thereof logic.
They're like stigmatized in society. I can't put myself in their shoes. What?
Why do I need to put myself in their shoes to understand that if a dude blows another dude, they're
I don't
gay?
understand
Exactly.
the mentality of everybody else in the world. I think
Why do I need to understand the mentality of
gives
somebody
me a
else to
headache.
know that if a dude blows another dude, they're gay? Why do I need to? What mentality am I missing here?
Because
I
you're
feel
talking
like
about a
I
woman.
feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm straight.
Wait, we're
Like,
talk-
is that
we're
the
talking
mentality
about-
I'm missing?
Wait, you said
I was
because we're
just gonna
talking
say
about a
because we're
woman
talking about somebody who's identifying as a woman,
who
and so.
has a penis?
But yes, but if you're talking about everybody in the world will look at that and be like, oh, it's gay. It's not gonna be viewed like that from everybody in the world, especially a lot of people in our generation.
But is
I
it-
think that it's queer. I don't think that it's necessarily gay. I think anything involving the community.
Okay. Queer, gay, all of it. Regardless if it's queer or gay, it's homosexual in nature. It is not heterosexual. That's the logic. That's the truth. Just stick to objective truth and objective reality. Stop. That's what that's what bothered me earlier when I was going through and watching this, is that they couldn't stick to what is real and what is true. They had to keep just blowing smoke up people's arses.
Is inherently queer, so you could say that it's not straight, but I wouldn't say that it's, everyone's going to say, oh, it's gay.
Is it
like-
No,
homosexual?
I think
I think it's weird.
almost everybody's going to say that it's gay.
I would like
In
to
fact, let me just challenge you
point
on
out,
this,
here's
right?
one thing.
I think right now that if we went down any American street, which exists, and we were to ask people, sir or ma'am, if a man sucked off a man who was wearing a dress, would you consider them to be gay? What do you think they would say?
I think a very important point to make and why I'm
Now, hang on,
advocating-
let her answer. What do you think they would
Wasn't
say?
this question for me? Okay.
I think that if it's a man in a dress, then it's a man in a dress. I think if it's somebody identifying as a woman in a dress, then it's somebody
Okay,
identifying
now
as a woman in a
she's-
dress. And
Great,
those
so let's
and
change
man
it
is the
then, and
same
we'll
thing.
say, we go down the same street and we say, sir, there's a man who's going to suck off another man who identifies as a woman,
I think
right?
it's
There's
weird.
two males, but one identifies as a woman and one's about to suck the other one off. Do you think that they're gay? What do you think they would say?
I think it's queer. I think that not everybody's going to say that's gay, so I think it falls under the umbrella of queer, and then each person is going to personally define that instance.
Well,
to be
gee, what
honest.
does queer mean? Does that
Anything
mean
under the
other than same-sex
LGBTQ
activity?
spectrum. Anything under the LGBTQ spectrum. Trans, all that is all queer.
I
It's
just-
like
Yeah, but that would mean if it's queer or LGBTQ. Let me make sure I got this right. Lesbian, right? Gay. So far, am I correct so far? Bisexual, transgender,
Can I
and
say
queer. This is all other than this is all same-sex activity, correct?
no. Queer is an overarching umbrella that includes all of those things. It doesn't have to
Okay,
necessarily
I'm so
be
confused.
same-sex.
Lesbian would be same-sex, right? Gay
Yes.
would be same-sex. Bisexual is alluding to people who also have sex with the same sex.
Yes.
I'm so confused by this.
Bisexual doesn't necessarily mean sex with the same sex.
He just says, he just got done saying, alluding to having sex with the same sex. Anyways, that's the end of it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment below, like it, share it. If you didn't like it, go ahead and comment. If you did like it, go ahead and comment, share it, like it. Let me know if you liked Andrew and Brian cooking in this. Let me know if you want to see more. And if you have anything you want me to react to, send me a DM. My Instagram is Dearden2013. My YouTube, my Facebook is Dearden2007. That's my page. You can go on there. You can follow. I do have a Discord server. It is Dearden2007 #8267. Follow along. Let's have a discussion and help me grow my channel to over 1,000. Thanks for watching.